So this is old vocabulary. So chapter 3 is kind of nice because it actually involves chapter 1 stuff, chapter 2 stuff. So we're kind of going back to parallel lines cut by transversal if you haven't noticed. We need to, and you need to, by the time you take your EOC, know that poster that's on the wall. It is corresponding angles, alternate interior angles. You need to be able to recognize what angle relationships are. It is also helpful if you use, you don't have to write this, but you can use notes number 21. This is not number 21. This is number 34. So don't get confused. Do not write that on your paper, but I'm going to write it. So that way somebody's going to ask me in 5 minutes what notes it was and I can like look at this. But it's notes number 21. That is the vocabulary sheet from a long time ago that we did. And we kind of, I think we highlighted some of it, or maybe, I don't know. But it has everything that says angle, corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles. That's your vocabulary sheet. So we're going to talk about those same vocabulary words, but now using a proof. Okay. On your EOC, you have to have drop down options. Can we stop? Drop down options. In class, I obviously can't give you drop down options on a piece of paper. So you have a word bank. So we're going to start. It says prove alternate interior angles theorem. It says given P is parallel to Q. So I know these two lines are parallel to each other, meaning they're never going to cross. I'm trying to prove that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So, oh, actually, this is wrong. Cross that out. That's wrong. Fix that. Sorry. Angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. When I made copies of this, I accidentally made copies. Jayla, go back to your desk. It doesn't matter. Move. I don't know why you guys think you just move around. The whole reason why I had to separate you is because you are annoying. So I'm not just saying you, all of you are annoying. It's 7th period. It's always 7th period.
Just gear mode. That's
okay. So the first thing says P is parallel to Q. Why is that? Because what'd you say? It's given. Thank you. Cross it out. Also, I tried to print this 2 different times, and for some reason on the Word document, it says they're all the same size letters, and then it prints out and they're different size letters. So disregard the different size letters. I don't know why, because on the Word document it says it's normal. And then I print it out and I'm like, what is happening? Angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. So if I look, I'm talking about angle 1. Those are corresponding. This is why it's important you know the vocabulary, because this will 100% be on your EOC. Those are corresponding angles. Yes. You can abbreviate. Yes, that's fine. So I'm going to cross out corresponding angles because I know those 2 angles are corresponding. What would have to go in the next little blank? No. Not 3 is congruent to 2. Oh, shh. Can you guys stop?
She's asking about if this.
So angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. How do I know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2? What theorem? No. Alternate interior. Yes. I'm just running out of space. The last thing is the proven, which is angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. We talked about this theorem yesterday, or the property of congruence. So transitive property of congruence, why they can use that at this point is because if they say 1 is equal to 3 and 1 is equal to 2, what they're doing is they're taking out that middleman, they're removing angle 1, and then they can say angle 3 is congruent to angle 2. So it's removing, that's like the key one that you kind of need to remember. If it's taking out that middle, that common man, then I can use the transitive property. What's up? Yes, take the pass. So let's go to number two. Number two, they're giving you a lot of extra parts of your picture you do not need to look at. So they're trying to confuse you. It looks different because it is different. It's crazy. It's got extra lines. Okay, so disregard what it's not talking about. So it says given triangle RST is congruent to triangle PTS. This is T, looks a little crazy. Okay, so these inner triangles are congruent. It also gives me this stuff. It says prove the sum of the measures of the interior angles of triangle RST are equal to 180. So if I say that these are congruent, what's my reason? Given. So if you ever have to fill in the first step, it's given. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. So if I look at my picture, I only want to look at angle 1 and angle 4. If I look here and here, there's a lot of other information that's going on. If we just look at this middle line and these two lines that are going through, what types of angles are those? Are they, what'd you just say? Perfect. They're alternate interior of this transversal. So they're on opposite sides. They're on the inside of the sandwich. So they're alternate interior angles. And I'm going to like shorthand that as much as possible. The alternate angles are congruent. Then it says 7 is congruent to 2. So if I look at 7 and I look at 2, they are corresponding. 7 is here, 2 is here. Disregard the other information. I'm still looking at these two sets of parallel lines. My transversal is now technically this line. Their corresponding angles are at the same location, different intersection of the line. So those are corresponding angles. And then this one gave you an extra option because sometimes they'll just give you extra options that you don't have to actually use. Okay, so sometimes you have extra information you have to disregard. There was, I think, one other one I wanted to do. Do you want to do one more together? What was the weird one? You want to do 5? Okay, let's do 5. So 5, last one. So 5 says, given angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. It also says that the given is C is parallel to D. So line C is parallel to D. That's what the two lines next to each other mean, is parallel, meaning they never cross. Remember, if they give you an upside down capital T, that's perpendicular. So that's creating a 90-degree angle. Yeah. So these are parallel. So what's going to go in my first statement? The given equation. So I'm going to copy that. Angle 4 is congruent to angle 3. And C is parallel to D. The reason why is because it's literally given. Literally given. Okay, and then it tells me I have, once again, extra lines. So you're probably going to have to disregard something because they're trying to confuse you. I know 3 is congruent to 1. What types of angles are 3 and 1 if they're congruent? Perfect. Alternate interior. And then it tells me 4 is congruent to 1 because of the transitive property. They use the transitive property because, once again, they said 4 is congruent to 3, 3 is congruent to 1. I can take out the 3 and just say 4 is congruent to 1. That's how transitive property congruence is always used. What would it be at step 4 for my statement? Perfect. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And if you look at 1 and 2, what types of angles are those? vertical angles. Yes, you're gonna do all the rest. And then the last one is obviously process of elimination, transitive. The reason why is because you have 4 and 1, 1 and 2. I can remove the middleman angle 1 from both of these statements and say 4 is congruent to 2 because transitive property is transferring over the statement. So transitive property. The backside of this is a review of chapter 1 and 2. So I want you to take a minute, take a couple minutes, talk to your peers, try to fill out 3 and 4 for your proofs, and then you can go to the backside, and then you should finish this before class, and I'll walk around and check it out at the end of class, so that way your grade can go in before you leave. Okay, what's up? Yeah. What's up? What's up? Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Why are you? Caramel? Cycle 1. You did? Oh, yeah, yesterday. Anybody else that needs to do cycle 1? Please go on to the computer and do cycle 1. Because at the end of the day, I'm submitting them. Yeah.
I got over. What'd you get?
Is that the only one you got wrong? Wait, what'd you get? Like a 95? Good job. That's impressive. Somebody in, one of the IB kids got 100 on it. I don't know exactly who it was, but the IB kids are on another level.
Anybody in this cell get on?
Not that I know of.